Good day, puppy lovers. Today I have Backy with me. He got his bath, dry, and now it's time for his groom. So let's just jump right in. Here I'm going to clean his sanitary area. Be sure that you're always using a 10 blade. Don't use any other blade than that around this area here. So I'm just going to fast forward this a bit, and I'm going to let you hear exactly what I needed to explain to you guys at the moment of this groom. When shaving a little boy like this, it's always good to make sure that you bring it up high enough, the shave, right above his little pee-pee hair. So we're going to bring this up right above so that when he urinates, he won't get it all over his fur here. Under the arms is also a very sensitive area, and he's pretty matted in there, as you can see. So I'm just going to shave that out. There's no way that I am going to brush it. So let's just be really careful using a 10 blade to shave that out. Join me as I take you through the essentials of grooming your Morkie. You'll learn practical techniques that not only save you time and money, but also makes grooming a bonding experience with your furry friend. So I used a 7 blade here to get that all done. And now he's got no more knots. But I only did the back and I left the sides here like this, so I brushed that out, and when we come in and cut with our scissors, I'm going to blend that in. Unless I have too much to shake off here, we'll see how I get it done. We're doing this as we go, okay? I'm gonna come in and use either my thinners or my little scissors here. But usually when it's too cottony, it's not always easy using thinners to cut out a little knot here. So you just cut out your little knot, which doesn't seem like a complicated thing, right? But when there's a lot to do, it can be more complicated. You can also come in with a little pair of scissors, a little normal pair here, and just snip that out like that. If you cut into the knot, just cut the knot in half. It'll leave you longer, so when you brush out, the knot will come out easier. So we're going to cut some out. I'm going to move on. Just thought I'd show you how I do that for his feet. Always remember when brushing to be sure that you are not brushing along the skin. You are tapping and pulling up and away, up and away, up and away, because you don't want to be scratching your dog's skin and cause any brush burns. So he's got more knots, so I'm going to keep moving on. Remember guys, respect, comfort, and safety before vanity. Something else that you can use is this little mat comb. It has blades on one side. This side, it's not the blade is only on one side. You place your thumb on this here, and we're going to come in and do his front paws. See how that works for him? So all you got to do to use this little instrument, you got to go behind the knot, right behind it, at the skin, hold it, and do a saw motion. Don't just pull and yank out. You got to do a saw motion. Try to get him to turn around here. See a saw motion. Try to get all of that out, okay? And that's going to cut the knot in a few pieces, actually, okay? If you can, if it's on his body and you're going to do this, you got to hold the bait at the base here and just do a saw motion like that. Hold at the base here, saw motion like that. Up and down, up and down. See? So that just cuts the knot in pieces, and then you use your slicker brush and you come in and you tap and pull up and away. See all of that? You got all that out, and it doesn't show. So moving on. So your comb really is one of your best friends, because the comb is what tells you if your work has been properly done. So when you're searching, you know, this whole seek and destroy thing, you're searching for a knot, you find one with your comb, and you hold that knot, and you can come in and you can cut some of that out, like that. I would advise that if the knot is too close to the skin, come in, like over here, you say like this, instead of pulling, because if you pull and then want to go cut like that, you might, the skin's being pulled. So come in and come in an angle and do outwards, outwards. It's the same thing as if you would be using one of these. So you hold the base. It's if you don't have one. Same thing, we're just cutting the mat in pieces. So now that he's brushed out, I can start the cut. He's a 13 millimeter. That means the orange end is here. I'm going to use my 30 blade underneath. Never use a 40 blade. A 30 blade, 10 blade can work also. Put the 30 blade back on, and I'm going to shave all of that whole body. Remember, when clipping the top of the dog's head, you always want to go towards the nose, don't go down, okay? So I'm going to try here. He's pulling, so I'm trying to hold his chin. It's not working. He doesn't want me to. So I'll try to hold his nose, hold his muzzle down like this. It's okay if he lets go once. You do a pass, and then he lets go. He doesn't want. Come on, hon. I'm just trying here. You just got to get it done. And go towards the nose, not into the eyes. I'm going to want to pull a little bit of this back and do the same thing towards the nose. Hang on, Becky. There you go, like that.
Whenever I cut around the dog's feet, I like to actually lift the paw up and cut around in a type of angle, a beveled angle, as you see here. It's just angled a bit. And a lot of the groomers will put the paw down and just cut around, and that's perfectly fine. I'll do that sometimes, but this is just a technique that I find that goes pretty, that works pretty well for me.
So see how I shaved back here, and it's shorter back here than it is on the side? Well, I'm going to blend that in. And first off, I'm going to start by doing the bottom part of his foot here. Come in straight like that. Let's shape this leg. Over here so you guys can see. We're going to go on the inside of the leg here, pull everything up, and try to shape that leg. There you go. Take all of that off and shape that leg. That. Okay? This is how I do it. This is just how I do it. I wouldn't go in and try to brush his bum because they don't like to be brushed in that area, and it's just easier for everyone, for the dog, for you, the groomer, pet owner. So see how I shaped that leg on the inside? Now we're going to come to the side leg. Wow, I thought I got all the knots, which we'll get rid of right now. Okay, so I'm going to bring all of this up, straighten them out. Come straight down from where I stopped my clipper. I had stopped here. Come straight down. Pull this all back. Finish the back top here. Like that. Whoops. Sorry, honey. Moving too fast, huh? Liz is moving too fast. Alright. So I'm going to come and shape this here. Usually use my curves to do that. Do the same thing here. Shape that leg. Here. Okay. I'm gonna round out the corners. So do the inside of the leg. Come here, honey. A lot more comfortable like that. Inside of the leg here, go straight down. Alright. What's the turn here? Okay. Now I'm going to want to show you guys how I came in and how I can fix that back leg. I'm just throwing my stuff around. What am I doing? What am I doing? Jeez Louise. No, Becky, you're all good. I just want to finish this part. Okay. So see how it's shorter and then longer? I'm just going to use my thinning shears and come in and just blend that in together flat. That should be good enough. See? It won't show. So he's got a tighter leg back here, but that's just to get rid of all of the knotting.
Did you know that Morkies are not only adorable but also known for their playful, spunky personalities? These little bundles of energy are often referred to as forever puppies because they keep their puppy-like behavior well into their adulthood. Despite their small size, Morkies have a big heart and are incredibly loyal to their families. Though they can be stubborn at times, it's a part of the terrier heritage. And here's a fun twist. Morkies can inherit the best of both worlds when it comes to their coat. Some have the silky, flowing hair of the Maltese, while others sport the fine, hypoallergenic fur of the Yorkie. Either way, regular grooming is a must to keep them looking their best. So if you own a Morkie or are thinking about getting one, get ready for a lot of love, laugh, and of course, some grooming adventures.
So guys, I've come to the foot where I mentioned that there's a whole bunch of knotting. If the dog does not want me to brush him out, I just want to show you what I do. If I can't brush this out, the dog's like fighting me or whatever, I'll just start cutting. Okay? So I'll do the side here. Even if there's knots, I'll cut into the knot at the length that's desired, right? So, coming in, I'm going to show you, do this quick. All right, I'm going to come right down. I snagged a few little knots. You don't see them, but I felt them with my scissors. Some knotting here. I'm still going to cut right through the knots. You'll see what I'm going to do after. Okay, that I'm still going to have to brush. But since the knot will be cut, I'll cut into it. There's going to be half of the knot left. It's going to be easier to brush out. Okay? So I'm just going to do this here. And it's the front part of the paw that has all that knotting. Okay? So I'm just doing it really quick right now. So bear with me. It's not perfect. We'll perfect it afterwards. I'm just getting some bulk off first. Okay? Cut that off. Alright, so I got all of that done, behind on the sides and all that. So this is where the trouble is, right? The knot's right there. I'm going to hold his elbow because he's pulling. Okay, he's pulling. Like him to sit. Hold his elbow. He's pulling. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut right into that knot. Okay? There you go. Cutting right into it. Okay, so I'm noticing I have to split that in two. Split it in two again. Split it in two. Cut on top of it. Alright, so now I'm going to take the brush. So it's shorter here. It's shorter now than the rest. I'm still going to try to brush some of that out. It's just that I will not have brushed as much. It takes me less time to brush it out now. See? And now I only have little pieces left, so I come out and I just take out those little pieces. Okay? And just make your life easier. You know? Some dogs just don't want to be on the table so long. Okay? So I'm just going to brush that up. And I'm going to try to blend that in. Okay? He's going to have a smaller paw. So that means I'm going to have to go adjust the other side. Just a little smaller. See how much easier it was? I didn't have to sit there and try to brush and brush and brush and brush. Okay? And with him, it's like, it's got to be done quick because he's just not patient on the table. He's still a baby, so I'm just going to keep trying to balance this out. Make it straight. So now is where I start straightening, okay? Side. That's just one way, okay? That's just one way. If you're pressed for time or the dog just doesn't want to have it done, it's not always the best results, seriously, but you can still get some good results. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the other paw I'm gonna go back to the other paw and, wow, there's a knot there. And make it smaller, cause see how, wait, one side, this one's bigger. So now I have to make it smaller, okay? See, now the paws are a little more equal, and I got rid of that knot without having to brush out too much. So all I did was cut into the knot, and you know, we do our best with what we've got, and yeah, let's move on.
Unfortunately, there are areas where you're going to notice he may have little holes here and there. Well, I had to cut some of those knots out. They were really, really nasty knots, so I had to really cut them out, and unfortunately there are little holes here and there.
So once again, as you see, back here he was shaved. And I'm just gonna balance this out, try to make it equal on each side. Get rid of all that hair that's on the inside here, bring it all the way down. And over here, I'm going to just blend this in, just lightly. Blending it in so that it makes it a little more natural. Now, when we shave pups really short here, sometimes some dogs, that'll tickle them. They're not used to their skin being touched. And sometimes it'll tickle them, so you'll see them turning around and trying to catch their tail or something like that. So I'm just gonna do the tail and move on. Now, the reality of grooming is, you know, we see a lot of videos and people who are grooming these dogs that are just amazing and they're perfect. Well, that's not what the reality of grooming is. Sometimes it happens that you got some really good dogs, and I'd say most of the pups I groom are pretty good. But I got a lot of little buggers like this that just won't let me finish the groom. So there's a point in time where you have to say, am I done? Am I done? You know, you can't just keep fighting, and because that's not going to be too healthy for you or for the pup. So when I feel that it's enough, and that's what it's got to be. Sorry for scratching my nose all the time. So I'm just going to do a little more, show you what I'm going to do, and then how I just decide to stop. I'm going to do a little on the ear. He's going to let me do the ear, so I'm going to do the ear.